Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Solomon Owusu ya oye communication member Emma the United Party Asoja Agu the minority press conference amorebe to just some time back ya almost cited for the dismissal of Okujeto Ablakwa, the foreign minister of Ghana. Ya almost raising concerns efa ensema Okujeto Ablakwa abra United States of America ewura anase ebowura Venezuela ekofa omomampani ene den bepia America to face prosecution. Yeah, no more claim say he's involved in narco terrorism and other crimes. Now, almost side say the Israel Ghana tension also some few weeks back. Yeah, Ghana deported Israeli citizens in retaliation of a Kwanya homofaso a treaty Ghanaians. Now, almost side say the ambassador to the United States of America, Ambassador Victor Smith, or Casadodo, Efa Kenoforiata, the detention, and as an SM, ya ice, Achena, or Modeno, what detention camp, minority, HSM, or Casadodo, now or ma too much information, and intino. President John Dramani Mahama, na we're trying to Akuya. I know, and Solomon Owusu are clashing with the minority. Yeah, what just a Ghana, young foreign policy, no. The tinty, then it what in an as a Ghana, and now say, Omanpani President John Dramani Mahama, any offense to the foreign minister, Okujeto Ablakwa, will serve the interest of the country, any offense to the interest of Ghana. Now, Solomon Owusu, since Okujeto Ablakwa the foreign minister, he can be perfect, and as he can get everything 100%. Nemo, most of the things now were leading, and as most of the things now why you know he is in, and as he's serving the interest of Ghana, any offense to the interest of the country. And you know, the minority enjoy such jandam now or true in the media space, not among focus on constructive criticism. And some way, and some who do be na Solomon Owusu editor, Abra, Otto, and Sembi, and as I all reacted to a minority press conference, or more calling for the dismissal of a foreign affairs minister.
Well, Sarah, good morning and good morning to my co-panelists, Doc and Comrade Pratt, and your cherished viewers across the world. This morning, we have one assignment here. The assignment is that the minority on Tuesday, through its Foreign Affairs Committee, held a press conference. And I don't know whether that press conference really was sanctioned by the minority itself. But I saw two people. One was hiding the face, and the other was trying to be dodgy. Tell the entire world that the Foreign Affairs Minister, and for that matter, the Ghana's ambassador to the U.S. must be removed from office. So I was very curious to know why that call, only to be told that for the foreign minister, the main reason why he has to be removed from office is the fact that a sovereign country called the United States of America has decided on their own volition to protect their national interest. They view 75 countries as being inimical to the development of the United States, and so they are holding on with the processing of their immigration visas. And to that extent, our foreign minister must be removed. Why must the foreign minister sit down for the United States of America to say that it is not going to process visas for Ghanaian immigrants? That is the crux of the matter. So I was like, wait a minute. That's why I asked whether the press conference was sanctioned by the minority and by extension the New Patriotic Party. If indeed it was sanctioned by the party, then we are doomed. We are doomed for the next 4 years, because we would have to endure such a lackadaisical opposition to such a time that the United Party would take over either as a party in government or party, the main opposition party. Then, Senator, they say the ambassador too must come back because he's provided too much information. On Kenofurata. What kind of position? But I don't blame them. If you have 87 members of parliament, which is not the ideal situation, definitely somebody must be a ranking in a particular committee. So whether you like it or not, you have to make do with the few numbers available. A quality person is outside the parliament, so what can they do? Are you going to remove Asafwaji and replace him with the woman who said that immediately the budget was read, COVID levy must be removed? Would that be an option? Jerry Ahmed, who is very interested in destroying tables, Anodompre, who will be a cheerleader. So it is an endemic problem. You see, they say that it is the utterances of the foreign affairs minister. I looked at the list of the 75 countries: Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Antigua, Barbuda, Armenia, etc., etc. Can they point to what the foreign minister of Afghanistan said that pushed the American government to add them to the list? Can they tell us what the foreign minister of Albania said that infuriated Donald Trump for him to add their name to the list? What about Ivory Coast? As for them, they speak French. What French language did they say the foreign minister spew out to cause for their name to be added to the list? Oui, 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 c'est ça. What about Thailand, Togo? And I'm even surprised that Russia is also included. So clearly, it has nothing to do with any utterances from any of the foreign ministers. It's about the U.S. protecting its own interest. And they gave you the reason that if you went to a state like Minnesota, it's in a mess. They are accusing the Somalians of swindling the entire state, siphoning monies out of the country, billions of dollars. You go to Ohio, the same problem is also there. In Minnesota, they estimate about 19 billion through fraudulent activities. And they see it as a wider problem, so trying to deal with their own. That is a sovereign country. They can go ahead and do their own thing. In the same way, Ghana also sees, how many times are we not clamping down perceived West African neighbors who are in this country doing 419 and so on and so forth? We go after them. And the time will come, if we are unable to contain it locally, the country called Ghana may be putting certain countries and their citizens on a blacklist. That we don't need you here. It's our sovereign right. Because you see, our foreign policy as a country is well defined in the Constitution. If you read Article 40 of our Constitution, it's so clear. In its dealings with other nations, the government shall promote and protect the interest of Ghana. The foreign minister, and for that matter, the foreign ministry has only one job: to protect the interests of Ghana. B, seek the establishment of a just and equitable international economic and social order. C, promote respect for international law, treaty obligations, and the settlement of international disputes by peaceful means. And D, adhere to principles enshrined, in the case maybe the aims and ideas of the Charter of the United Nations, the Charter of the Organization of African Union, and the Charter of the ECOWAS. This is what any foreign minister, and for that matter, foreign ministry, is supposed to do. Now I hear people say that his position on Venezuela, with all indifference, I believe that if indeed the UN Charter was signed in San Francisco, which is in the United States of America, and that charter says that no sovereign country can enter into another sovereign country and adapt its president. I mean, as if we are in the medieval ages, that a sovereign country that elected its own president, if you are not happy with him, it does not lie in the mouth of the United States to go and do the bidding of Venezuela. The Venezuelans, the citizens of Venezuela are capable of removing their own president. You have gone to abduct him in a Rambo style and sent him to the United States and try him for what crime? That he's leading in what? Drug business. Gun possession. Well, these people. Well, I don't blame them. I mean, statistics doesn't support that. Cocaine and this business, these drugs, less than 1% takes place between Venezuela and the United States. In any case, for a business to succeed, there has to be a buyer and a seller. So if you believe that a lot of drugs are coming from Venezuela, why don't you deal with the buyers in there, in the United States who are buying, so that if you're able to clamp down on them, there will not be any supply. If the goods are brought and there are no buyers, would anybody bring it? That is not true. So the democratic credentials. Oil for drugs. It's a democratic principles. Well, you know, in this country, when in 2020, Donald Trump went to court, accused the entire U.S. electoral system as being fraudulent. He accused everything. Indeed, when they went into the matter, the U.S. electoral system is as whack as anything. Ghana is better off. That people can go and stand there without any identification, then they will go and vote. So that could also not be the case. And Ghana, being a signatory to the UN Charter, international laws, that knows that no sovereign country can enter another country to go and abduct its president. If this thing happen, do you expect our country, and by extension our foreign minister, not to issue a statement to state our position? In fact, if the foreign ministry and by extension this government had not done so, some of us would have gone after them. That means you are not protecting the constitution. It means tomorrow America can just get up here and abduct President Mahama. This sort of impunity, why does it happen? It's not good for us. Now I hear that Israel-Palestine is also another reason why our foreign minister is not behaving well. I mean, the position of the foreign ministry in terms of Israel-Palestine has been there since Kwame Nkrumah's day. We have always believed in the two-state solution. Americans and the Israelis, they want us to side with them. We cannot side with untruthfulness. We are always in the middle. But what we have been doing over the years is that we call them out. If we believe that you are not doing what is right, we say it. But why must you say that and not speak the truth? So that one too cannot be used against him. Look, I have checked a couple of statements that have been released, issued by the foreign ministry since Okuyeto took over. And mind you, I have been policing this administration very well, because I'm always looking for information that my party, the United Party, will use against them in 2028. They issued a statement on Russia, Ukraine. You know, recently the US, I mean last year, latter part of last year, the US wanted a peaceful settlement of that. They issued a statement to agree with that position, that it is only by going by peaceful means that will save this world. So what is it that the foreign minister, with the benefit of this, has done that will necessitate any organized group of people to say that he must be removed? That the United States of America says it no longer wants to make citizens from 75 countries live permanently in the United States, including Ghana, and you as opposition party writing a letter to go and thank the US government that, hey, you have solved our problem. You have rather a problem with the foreign minister. What have we been complaining about in this country? Brain drain. But for the magnanimity of Dr. Adumaku Kisibana, he should be in the US serving their medical facilities. He could have been stolen from us with ease. We train medical doctors, we train nurses, we train teachers, we train engineers, we train carpenters, we train taxi drivers in this country with our meager resources, and they take it with ease. They take them with ease, no struggle. And what even annoys some of us is that when these people leave our country and go there, now with social media, they insult our intelligence. Leave this country, leave Ghana and come. Here is so nice. But you that could help us to grow or develop, you have left us. So how do you expect it to develop? And if by way of their thinking that they are solving an internal problem, that solution to their internal problem will aid to our advantage by preventing professionals from living and permanently settling in the United States, why must you not be happy? If you pray that every intellectual, every professional in this country should leave Ghana and go and settle in the United States, when you become the government of the day, which human resources are you going to work with? So I was very scandalized and very surprised. That's why I say I don't believe that this press conference was sanctioned by the New Patriotic Party. And that it was rather carried out by the gentleman in pursuit of his own personal agenda. Because you know he has had an issue with Okujeto in 2025, if you remember. Somewhere September, when he was bound to take place in the United Nations General Assembly meeting as a deputy ranking of the Foreign Affairs Ministry. They say it's convention that when there's a UN General Assembly, as part of government delegation, the ranking member will be part of the delegation. On this occasion, my understanding was that the ranking was not available, so automatically he had to go to the deputy ranking.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes. So the deputy ranking, in fact, they bought him a ticket to take part in the UN General Assembly, only for the ticket to be withdrawn at the airport. He had gone to the airport and wanted to make the trip. They said, oh, as part of a cost-cutting measure, the government delegation was only going to be the chairman and the clerk of parliament. So Asafo-Adjei has not overcome this. And I believe that the foreign affairs minister and the foreign committee must find a way of dealing with this matter so that the next general assembly, he must also taste it. Let's be fair to ourselves. The young man wants to taste the UN General Assembly. The Minister of Foreign Affairs must not deny him the opportunity for us to be experiencing some of these processes. It's so needless. In fact, to show how angry he was with that decision, he petitioned the Speaker of Parliament to express his frustration that having been given the opportunity to attend the UN General Assembly, it took the Foreign Affairs Minister to say, you will not attend it. So the least provocation, when you can even wait, you get him on the corner and nail him, because definitely this government, they are no saints. There will be issues. They are here to do what? Audit the financial, audit the account, which will be made available this year. There will be a lot of issues. So why the rush? When you continue to do this, you destroy your integrity. The day you'll be saying something that is so crucial, nobody will take you serious. Yes, Okujeto made a lot of revelations when he was in opposition, but he helped the country. We must give credit where it's due. He exposed the National Cathedral still in the name of God. You understand? He exposed the bathing in the air, and so on and so forth. So as an opposition member, take a cue from it and also do something that will earn you respect. So with that, they moved to the the Ghana's ambassador to the United States of America, Victor Smith. There too, they say what? The man has been giving us information daily. Why must you be giving us information on Kenoforiata every day? Why must you even make the attempt as an embassy to go to the aid of one of our own Ghanaians, to go and find out whether or not he's being treated fairly? That is what the opposition is telling us. That we should allow Kenoforiata to rot. Don't go to his aid. Because of the information you are providing, you must be sacked. Aye. So it means if you are given the opportunity to come to government again and there are these kind of issues, you will never brief us. You see the mindset? So it is not good enough. Senna, I believe that up to this day, I have been following the activities of the Foreign Affairs Ministry and by extension the Foreign Affairs Minister. The statements, his actions and inactions fall in line with Ghana's foreign policy. In fact, we as the United Party, because we have our plan in place, everything is documented. Our foreign policy as enshrined in our strategy would have been, if you read diplomatic and international relations, one, to adopt the principle of positive neutrality, which is very much consistent with our constitution, anchored on the strategic interest of Ghana. Everything must be in the interest of Ghana. Now you see, they are saying that the foreign ministry and by extension the foreign minister must make known to the entire country the strategy they will be using to convince the United States of America to change their position. Well, wasn't it the same minority that had an issue with foreigners or West Africans being brought to this country without their knowledge? Wasn't it the same minority? So it seems to me that the consistency levels are not there. Let them be consistent. Let them come up with something that will, pierce the majority and have or elicit national discourse, which will inure to the benefit of the MPP. But they say what they are doing now is nothing much ado about nothing. That is a total waste of our time. Let me end it here.
Thank you very much. A few of you are asking exactly what. At the time that you are virtually left with 4 or 5 days to your major presidential primaries that will position the party well to win an election in 2028, then you say you are doing accountability series on Monday. So for Monday, the conversation will now shift again from this foreign affairs debacle, and then it will now shift to their press conference. So I think this is exactly what they wanted, for us to be discuss matters like this instead of focusing on other national important issues. Now, coming to the issue, I think that quality of leadership or representation is key in every democracy. That is fast losing in the MPP minority in parliament. Yes, you can be 88, but with substance and quality. As of Waji and Honorable Abu Jirapo, I don't think they are the best foreign brains in parliament that should represent the MPP. Personally, that's what I think. I've engaged them at parliament, at committee levels, and I know what is entailed in foreign policies. So these are people with limited experience and knowledge in foreign matters, and then a political party that is an alternate government pushes such people to cause us embarrassments as a nation. When they fail, it is not them that has failed. People will judge Ghana based on the conduct and outbursts of those people. So I'll call on the MPP party to look at their leadership very well. If not, as for us, it is better to have a weak party, opposition party, but it is not good for our democracy. So it is not every time that when a matter comes, you must comment about. And sometimes that's what people don't understand. When you do cognitive analysis, they will tell you that information and minds change based on consistent factual and evidential materials. So it is not the aggregation of allegations that informed people's choices. It is well-established facts. And that's what he mentioned, the Foreign Affairs Minister, by saying, we saw what he used to do. But if you observe, anytime he used to bring an issue, it is backed either by the Auditor General or he has done an RTI request to an institution and gets information from that. So based on that, even if you don't like the person and you attack the personality of Ablakwa, then you cannot attack the issues. And you can name all the allegations that he had made during the opposition and see which one of them did not have evidential value. But what are we saying? The second leg to is that they are just trying to tie in this ongoing impasse with the Kenoforete issue and then bring an international pressure on Ghana. That's how I also see it. But let me be clear that as a government and a party, we respect accountability. And that's why we are even pursuing Kenoforete. But it must not be driven merely by allegations or knee-jerk reactions or political pressure. If we do, we throw away the rule of law concept. So I am not against a call for interrogation into the circumstances that led to that temporary ban on immigrants over their status. And mind you, I read a report from the Department of Justice that says that the 75 countries primarily had been tracked on overstays over the last 10 years. So this is not a decision that just happened in 2026. It takes account of several of those immigrant violations that has happened in those countries. We have a United States president who makes policies even before discussing at cabinet. So sometimes, if you observe the way his government appointees speak, everything, everything they will say, I defer to the president will say more about it. So even the cabinet, at that cabinet level or government level, they cannot even read the mood of the president. Today he's attacking here, tomorrow. So it might not necessarily about incompetence exhibited by a government, or it may not even have much information to take a decision, but he takes it. What we should now be concerned is how do we use our diplomatic channels to address these type of issues, but not press conferences. And like I said, allegations are not demonstrations of misconduct. Let's get it right. It is not the number of allegations you throw at somebody that should be or substituted or replaced as misconduct. So after the press conference, what? That's what I'm saying, that I feel like they can do better with some of these things, because foreign policy or foreign issues are very sentimental, especially in the context of geopolitical issues, tensions going on in the world. In fact, if you look at a month ago, it was all about Venezuela. It was all about Ukraine and Russia, Iran. Now, they've shifted towards Greenland. Now, European Union leaders had to act immediately because a threat was issued by the President of the United States. And they were also preparing a retaliation. Now, it came down. Then we are now talking about Board of Peace. So you know that the geopolitical tension in the world and the commentaries from countries should rather help shape how to ensure international order, but not taking political advantage of such circumstances. So for me, I think that the call is reckless, it is needless also, and it must not be entertained. And it should also be a message to the MPP that, and it narrows down to lack of preparation. That is why I was part of the first group of people that said that when you lose an election, the first point of this thing to do is to reflect. They are so busy without learning anything. You lost the election exactly a year ago. They've campaigned from that time till now. So what exactly led them to that massive electoral defeat? Nothing. They don't know. So they think it's about making your allegations known in the media, conducting internal primaries. In fact, the first time somebody is putting a roof on a house without foundation. These are some of the things when you lack quality leadership. And I think that as a party, steps should be taken to sanitize and rebuild the party. If not, you can bring the angel to a weak party, you lose. Not how much more the candidates, the perceived winner that we are hearing. So for me, I think that Asafo-Adjei as a brother, yes, a distinguished young MP, he wants to be heard. He's a first timer, so, and he has been given such, because of their number, you know, is small. And if you look at composition of committees of parliament, it is by the strength. So if they say in Foreign Affairs Committee, you must have 4. The 4, they may only have 2-time or 3-time member, only one person. The other person will naturally be a first time, because at their side, first timers are also a lot. So they get opportunity to groom them. But they are fast learning to the detriment of the party. So I would say that as for a party like the NDC government, I'm very positive that President Mahama will act when facts are established that there was some level of incompetence in the type of ban that we had from the USA. If it is established that something untoward happened, or some negligence, or some due diligence was supposed to be done, I have no hesitation that President Mahama will act on it.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.